Hello and welcome to Dwarf Fortress. I am Twisted Logic. In this episode I'm going to be taking a look at a couple different DFHack commands, and it's kind of a follow-up part 3 of the FPS video. Right now we're following Builder Cole, and he's going to construct a building. And ultimately I ended up setting the calculation FPS and graphical FPS to 222 on each of them because this is a higher cap. The FPS calculation here, I didn't want it to set it too high, and the graphical calculation here, I didn't want to give it a lower limit. Once all of the goods were taken off of the surface from that trade caravan that was attacked, the game sped up a lot, and I feel like it runs pretty good for me. There's a couple of different things I'm going to test out in this video. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe for more videos. So if I go to my units here, most of them are praying, some of them have no job, some of them are doing things. There's some pets and livestock, 75 others, and I have merchants on the map here. Let me zoom to them. Oh, okay. I'm back over here on the maximizing frame rate page of the Dwarf Fortress Wiki, and I'm going to come down a little bit in the article with game alterations. You can consider running an older version. Yeah, not for me. Temperature calculations can place a significant load on the processor. Disabling them using the settings d_init.text. This will speed things up. But without if you do disable the temperature, you're not going to be able to cool down magma. Dwarves refuse to step on obsidian floor, preventing access to for hauling. That's interesting. I don't know if that's an active bug or not. Let's see. Oh, okay, so this bug is resolved. This is a resolved bug, so we don't have to worry about that. You can re-enable temperature occasionally to allow tile temperatures to normalize. Alternatively, you can work around this issue by altering obsidian in the raws to give it maxed fixed temperature of 10,000. Disabling temperature calculations will cause fire to become glitchy, including creatures who create fire, fire imps, dragons, forgotten beasts, etc. Dwarves set on fire with temperature disabled will burn perpetually until exposed to water, though they won't receive any damage. Tiles exposed to fire with temperature calculations disabled will become entirely impassable, which may lead to significant parts of the map being blocked away. I guess that's if you already have fire on the map when you disable it. If confronted by fire or fire-based creatures, it may be worth turning temperature back on until they're dealt with. Multiple users have reported an FPS increase of 100% or better when disabling temperature calculations. Disabling weather may speed things up as well, but then rain won't refill murky pools, clean contaminants, kill dwarves, etc. I might actually... maybe I'll disable weather on the Blood Fort, because it's becoming annoying raining slime all the time. Each dwarf needs to keep track of where they're going. You can limit the population cap. I set my population cap in the test fortress. I think it's set to around 200 or 300. In the tutorial fortress, it is default. And the next test fort that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be setting the population cap to something very high. I'm not 100% sure. I was thinking 500. It might be higher. I'm going to have to see from there. Invaders also need to pathfind. You could turn off invasions. Yeah, not for me. I'm not going to turn off invasions. The game also has to track what is happening in the caverns. You can disable the cavern layer in world generation, in advanced world generation. Unfortunately, you lose the underground plants and trees. When you pop the cavern layer, this is something that I found out in, I think, my first test fortress many years ago. You won't get mega beasts until you pop that cavern layer. Also, when you pop the cavern layer, the spore release happens, and that's when plants will start growing in random spots in the fortress. If you don't mind losing large amounts of fun, you can also disable the magma sea and the bottom layer. Those, I don't like any of these things. I don't like any of these options except for disabling the weather. So mods and utilities here. I don't normally mod the game other than the Lazy Noob pack for DFHack. So maybe later on I'll take a look at one or two mods, and but that's not really my expertise. Accumulations of contaminants can decrease FPS and are somewhat buggy. This was gone over with the DFHack command clean all. You can also do spot clean. Constantly growing piles of cast-off clothing and checking for clothing wear and unhappy thoughts can impact FPS. This is a big one right here, and I'm going to go into the fortress mode and show you. Okay, so I'm back in the test fortress now. I'm going to make a new zone. So and I'm going to make a zone right here that goes over the lip here. I'm going to set this as a dump, garbage dump. Okay. So I'm over here at the Atom Smasher, and I got three ghosts hanging out, so it looks like maybe I got some by accident. I'm going to pull this lever. Now. Okay, I'm going to pull the lever again. I for zone, and I'm just gonna remove the dump from this zone right here. So the command is cleanowned, and that's gonna find items. Now if I do cleanowned with a question mark, it's gonna tell me the usage. The tool lets you confiscate and dump all of the garbage the dwarves ultimately accumulate. By default, only rotten and dropped food is confiscated. I'm going to add in scattered. I'm going to do cleanowned scattered. And then with the X here, and the lowercase x and the uppercase X refers to the item's wear. Over on the Dwarf Fortress Wiki page for wear, item with a lowercase x durability has 75% of the wear remaining, and item with capital X has 50%, so half of it is damaged and half of it is good. You can think of it like a kind of a glove that's kind of getting some holes and things in it. So I'm going to do cleanowned scattered with a lowercase x, so anything that's 75% or less remaining durability is going to be thrown into the garbage dump. So items that are less than 25% damaged are going to remain. And this is going to slow down the game significantly until it's complete. And it may take a little bit, just as a warning, so enter. Okay, so it confiscated and dumped all these worn items. There's llama wool socks, some shoes here, trousers, dress. Let's just take a look at what else we have in here. Hood, cloak, some gloves and mittens. The frame dropped to about 15 here. So the whole fortress came alive with work requests of dumping these items, and they're all dumping them into the magma. So in an earlier video, I had mentioned that you can't dump directly in, you shouldn't dump directly into magma because it's going to splash up some magma mist. If I go down a couple layers here, you can see that the surface of the magma is a few Z layers below where they're dumping. This isn't real, the close isn't splashing things up, but if you start dropping heavy objects like stones or mine carts or something down into there, then it's gonna splash up some magma mist. And I will designations and then B for building and item properties and dump. And I'll just dump some of these items here as well and see if we can make some magma mist from this. Okay, it looks like Dumat here's got a grave that he's gonna dump a sarcophagus, so that might generate some mist. Yeah, so we have some magma mist happening, and that's why you want to have the and it came up a couple Z levels as well. So that's why you want to have the dumping area. What happened here? Oh, what is this? Oh, fire imp. There's a fire imp there. That's funny. So they're still dumping away. Just had to deal with that fire imp for a minute. And let's take a look at the units list here. A lot of them are dumping items. I do have other things going on as well. Some building, some construction going on. Soulbin is going to construct. And I got some elk birds running around. So while they're dumping things, I'm going to go back over to the Dwarf Fortress Wiki and let the game run in the background. So one of the things that you can do aside from dumping the items with wear, if you wanted to mod the game, is you could modify the clothing to prevent wear, but this will require a world regen. This could be done by adding an armor level of 1 token. Aside from possible FPS games, this has other benefits as well. This fix is part of the Modest mod as an optional external fashion module. It might also be found in other mods which are based around Modest mod. Also, Masterwork Dwarf Fortress allows the creation of metal clothing. I haven't played with Masterwork Dwarf Fortress before. However, you can make metal clothing in the base game. Some mods have been created specifically to improve performance. They often reduce and standardize materials like leather and bone, and may reduce the types of clothing available to control item count, especially for invaders. So it sounds like instead of turkey leather or cat leather or giant mole leather, it's just going to be leather. So I'm over in my starter pack folder and go into Dwarf Fortress and then data, init, and d_init text. Okay, so this is the d_init text. Warning, do not copy over the d_init text from an earlier version of Dwarf Fortress. This is going to give me a couple options that also are set in Lazy Noob Pack. So you hit the button in Lazy Noob Pack and it goes into this text file and changes the yes to a no. For autosave, auto backup, autosave pause, initial save. But down just a little bit here, use these options to remove features from the game. Permitted values are yes and no. Removal might speed up the game in case of temperature and weather. So I can go to this temperature field right here, and just set this to no. And I believe capitalization does make a difference here. But now with Lazy Noob Pack here on the Options tab, I can turn off invaders right here. I can turn off temperature right here, cave-ins, weather, artifacts, aquifers. Okay, so I'm back in the game now, and most of the dumping from the scattered command is finished. I'm following Stadia here across the map on the surface. He's going to store an item in a stockpile. And another thing that you can do on the surface is set a traffic area, which I have done. So designations O for traffic areas, and once he gets to about here, he's going to be in a high traffic area, which will eventually, we're going to pave, but we haven't done it yet. So that'll reduce some of the AI pathfinding that they're going to do on the surface for as well. So now I'm about 31 right now, and as work gets completed, it should go up. The traders have also left the map. So I'm following Addis here, and the game's running pretty decently. And I'm just gonna pause it and highlight him. And this command right here, Superdwarf. I'm gonna press question mark, enter. Superdwarf add is the command. Enter. And now if I do Superdwarf list, enter. Addis is now Superdwarf, and I'm going to continue following him and unpause the game. So he's running at maybe triple speed, I don't know. I'm gonna stop following him for a second, because when he's finished, yeah, designations N to remove construction, and just get rid of those two. And now I can also do Superdwarf clear, enter. And now Addis is no longer a Superdwarf. And now he's moving at normal speed again. So I just saved the game and loaded back into it, and I'm gonna run this command. It's called Fastdwarf. I found this on the Dwarf Fortress Wiki of maximizing frame rate. I'm gonna press enter, and now it's gonna give me current state, fast equals 0, teleportation equals 0. If I do Fastdwarf again with a question mark, press enter. The usage is makes dwarves faster. Fastdwarf speed, and then with parentheses teleport. Valid values for speed: 0 is standard, 1 is maximum, and 2 makes all the creatures move at and work at maximum speed. And then the valid values for teleportation is disable and enable. So I'm going to do Fastdwarf. I believe it should be 1, 0, enter. Oh yeah, here we go. So the frame rate is down, however, they're moving pretty fast. It's what you consider cheating, but ultimately it's how you want to play the game, you know? I have no idea what that is. They're just like, they shuffle around into different parts of the room and then I guess continue to hang out. Yeah, they're all socializing. That's weird. Oh, it looks like they're starting to go now. A couple of them went off and picked some things to dump. I have no idea why they're shuffling like that. That's insane. That's great. Units? Okay, so a lot of them are now dumping the items. Oh, here we go. So, FPS is pretty low. 16 isn't that great, but they're definitely moving fast. I mean, the game is responsive as well. I have a FPS of 50-ish. Okay, it just went down. Okay, so FPS, graphical, and calculations both 16, but they're moving very fast. With this, this is the Fastdwarf command. I haven't seen this teleportation before, so I'm going to do Fastdwarf 1 and then 1. So it's going to enable teleportation. Enter. Oh, they all just disappeared. Units. Zoom. Okay, designations B. Dump. And let's just see what happens when we dump some more furniture. And you know what I'll tell them to do? I'll tell them to do some digging as well. And I think I have to go into Dwarf Therapist and turn mining back on. And let's see what else we can do. Pull the lever now. And unpause. She just teleported in, pulled the lever, and teleported back. And pull now. Boop. So that's amazing. Let me go to the surface. Go to my construction up here. Designations N to remove the construction, and I'm just going to remove this one. Oh yeah, he just teleported in. That's great. Okay, they don't seem to be going to dump the items now that Fastdwarf is on. Oh, you know what? They are dumping the items. They're just teleporting so quickly. I think if we watch this area for a second, we'll just see yeah, there's a barrel. So I was predicting a lag spike, but it didn't really happen. Although it is at 2020 right now. I'm going to turn teleportation off, so Fastdwarf 1-0, enter. And units. Okay, so we should see more of them moving now. So FPS is at 1111 right now, and the doors are moving fast, but that's because of the DFHack command I enabled. So I have a siege on the map now. Some goblins just showed up on the surface. And we're still dumping everything. We're dumping pretty much everything on this level. I believe that once I zoom out a little bit, and the game has to draw more things graphically, the graphical FPS is going to go down. So now graphical is at 9. Everybody's still moving around relatively quickly with this Fastdwarf command. There is a lot of work going on right now because I told them to dump pretty much everything in on this level. All of these stockpiles I designated to dump the items. But if I zoom back in now, since graphics is at 9, graphical calculations at 9 right now, but if I zoom back in, it should go back up. Yeah, 17, 20. So FPS is boosting up as I look at less complicated things. Looks like it leveled off at 2121. So I just assigned 20 dwarves to the first 2 squads of my military and told them to train. And I'm going to turn on teleportation again with Fastdwarf. Enter. So I want to see what happens with the military and teleportation. Okay, squad A, move. Enter. B, move. Enter. Squad A, orders. B, orders. Now I'm just gonna hit F to follow this soldier. This is D-Dunk. Now the fortress is closed up right now. The doors to the surface here are closed, and the new sky entrance is closed. I'm gonna go to units list and just zoom over to these invaders. Okay, and then squad A, move. And I'm just gonna tell squad A to move inside this house right here. Enter. We'll do squad B and then K to kill. Enter. And we'll just see if they can teleport outside of the fortress with it closed up. So if I go to my units list and come up here, Silob here is a soldier. He's got no reachable valid target. The fortress is closed and teleportation is on, so it seems like they can't teleport in a place. They can't teleport to a place that they can't walk to. I'm gonna pull this lever here now, and that's gonna open up the sky entrance of the fortress. And I'm also gonna, before I do that, units, gotta be quick about it, and then zoom back over here. And so they're gonna open up the fortress on the sky entrance, and the squads, one of the squads is set to kill these goblins, the other squad is set to move right here. Okay, squad A, move right there. B, move right there. And then they're gone. Let's do a smooth stone. Wow. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe for more videos.